Didn't we usually do the cold open and then
we usually do the cold open
and then intro after that?
Yeah.
So
who wants to do the first?
Who does want to do
intro?
the first intro? I'll do it. I can do it.
You want to do it?
Sure.
Okay. It's like I can do it too. I don't care.
I can't. I just don't want to.
You don't want to be the first to break the season 2 virginity hymen?
Didn't like any of those words that you just said.
I don't know if we need a cold open. I think that right there's good. Good God, woman.
Why did I write this?
Welcome to Why Did I Write This? The podcast where we read and write bad writing so you don't have to. I'm Ophelia.
I'm Anna.
I'm Beth.
Oh, holy shit, welcome back.
Oh my god, it's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. It's, August 2023. We last recorded of last year. How's it going, friends? I feel like I haven't seen you in years.
You saw me yesterday.
Okay, but
we were in a car for 3 hours.
The audience doesn't know that, though. Hold on.
They do now.
Oh my, you and your freaking hair problems. Jesus.
I don't like loose hair. Anyway.
Also, I live with you. You see me every day.
Hey, you should talk about that more.
Listen.
Wow, that's a segue.
We just need to go through what the hell we've been up to these last few months. Last year.
It's been like a year and a half.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm bad with time.
Oh, we know.
All right. Do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've got my Ophi updates.
That's cute.
That's cute.
So the big things that have happened to me is I finally graduated university.
Congratulations.
I'm not using my degree, nor do I plan on using my degree.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
I did have a degree in English education. I don't want to do that.
I mean, this kind of counts.
Yeah,
For half of it.
She's not teaching us.
Thank God. We would be the worst students ever.
So back in season 1, I was working at undisclosed coffee shop. I am now working at undisclosed coffee shop, but a different one.
Uh-huh.
So I got a different job, but I'm still doing the same job.
Uh-huh.
That was great. Let's see. I was living with Beth, and then I moved out of Beth's house, moved back in with my parents. Yes.
You got COVID at my house.
I sure did get COVID at your house, and that was a hot mess.
You found clear NyQuil.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I was living at Beth's, and she's like, oh, you got COVID? Bye. Have fun. She stayed at her significant other's house for the 2 weeks that I was sick. Occasionally she would come in and check in on me and bring me stuff. One of the things that she had to bring me was new NyQuil, because as I was raiding her medicine cabinet to try and treat my symptoms, I found a bottle of NyQuil, and you know how NyQuil is supposed to be green?
Mm-hmm.
Or like a dark red?
Mm-hmm.
It was not. It was clear. And then I shook it, and then it was kind of green again.
That's disgusting.
It really gives you the insight on how often I get sick enough that I need NyQuil.
Mm-hmm.
And also just how often you open your medicine cabinet just to check what you have in there.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. It's like, I need it right now. Oh, this expired 10 years ago? Shit. Well.
What else happened?
Let's see. So I moved in with Beth. I moved out of Beth's house and back into my parents' house. And that was,
an experience.
It's living with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm living with Anna. So I've lived with both of my co-hosts.
Creeper.
Let's see. I also had a girlfriend for a while. I no longer have a girlfriend. That's fine. She and I are still very good friends. I went to MomoCon with her back in May of this year, and that was a really, really good time. I also went to a bunch of other conventions. I also reconnected with, like, a lot of my old friends from grade school, like, elementary through high school, which means now I might be able to use their names if they come up in any of my old writing, and I don't have to say redacted and unnamed.
I think those were the best names.
I mean, that is very fun. And currently, I also have new hyperfixations because I am a piece of shit. So, right now, my biggest thing, which my ex got me into, is Twisted Wonderland. Disney's Twisted Wonderland. It is a mobile game, and it's very good. It's a very good time.
You've been obsessing with it for months.
Yeah.
Okay, the question I have here is how much money have you spent on it? I don't like the face you're making right
Under
now.
100.
I don't like that
That's-
answer.
To be fair, I've spent an undisclosed amount of money on Pokemon Go, so I get it and I don't judge. Don't
Ariana.
shut up. I'm not proud of it.
Anyways, Twisted Wonderland is my current hyperfixation. Our fans on the other side of the screen cannot see this, but I have some little plushies with me of my favorite characters. We have Vil Schoenheit, who is twisted off of the evil queen from Snow White, and Azul Ashengrotto, who is twisted from Ursula from The Little Mermaid. I love them very much. Another thing that I've been super obsessed with lately is making really stupid bracelets. I have an entire list of bracelets that I need to make, and they're really stupid. Like, I have one that says leprosy, one that says yeast, which is my favorite word. I think my favorite one that I've made is a little cuff that says phlebotomist's wet dream.
It is a good one, and I think you should wear it the next time you go to the doctor and see
Absolutely. But, I mean, that's what I've been up to.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Do you want me? You're just staring very intently at me.
Well, it's either you or I, so take a pick.
I guess we'll go in order.
Okay.
Okay, so let me get my little bullet list out.
I love that you wrote it out on paper. Amazing.
I have a piss poor memory.
Same.
Okay.
We're the goldfish gang.
So, to start off, I had a breakup as well with my long-term partner.
Yeah, we call it a breakup.
There was a lot of breakups.
Yeah.
We went through a lot this past year and a half.
Listen, it was good thing.
Oh,
good
yes.
thing. Very
It was-
good thing. So I lived by myself for a hot minute, and that was kind of nice. I got a new man's, and he is very sweet, and I really like him a lot. My car broke, which was unfortunate.
Red Betty White.
Yeah, I named her.
Hard-handed White.
I named her Betty White, which honestly was a poor choice on my part because, you know, it was really inevitable that she would die. And she died in a very horrific way. The timing chain broke and destroyed my engine.
Oh, no.
And it was going to be like $7,000 for a new engine. And I said, no, thank you. So I traded it in, and now I have a very high car payment, and I'm very sad, but I got a new car, and it's nice. It works good. Yeah. I saw MCR live last
I did
year.
too. I was there. It was a very good time.
I did not cry. We waited 2 years to see them.
Did you wear your daddy's shirt?
No, I did not. I debated it. I saw a lady there wearing a Daddy Gerard shirt.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Let's see. Cranyard moved in to help me alleviate financial stress, and plus she wanted out of her house to be with me.
I wanted to be not in my parents' house. I love them deeply, but you know, living with your parents, it gets a bit much sometimes.
Oh my god, yeah. Started a knitting club with a friend, so I'm learning how to knit, and I want to make a lot of things. Let's see, I went on many adventures. I went and saw Falling in Reverse, and it was a good show. I went and traveled places.
Nondescript places.
Yeah, just around. I've been around. I went to a Walmart.
Wow.
Went
Did
to
it look
Target.
just like the one in undisclosed local location?
God.
Yeah, it looks just like ours.
It's almost like they're branded that way. Amazing.
I thought about going back to school so that way the degree that I have doesn't stare at me every day and mock me because I don't use it. It was a mortuary school that I messaged. Have not heard anything back yet, but we'll see. A friend and I have been hitting the gym regularly. Words. Because my goal is to be a buff grandma. I'm getting there. And then another big update is I reconnected with my Naruto porn friend.
Yay! Porn! I mean Naruto! Woo!
I went and I played Pokemon Go with her yesterday.
Oh yeah, and then they said you didn't pay your bill.
Yeah, I was really fucking pissed. I paid my bill. The waitress was a bitch.
Damn. She went out for Pokemon Go Day or whatever it was.
Pokefest.
And she and her friend went to a restaurant bar place.
We went to a bar. I ordered my food. I ordered a mimosa. I paid for my shit.
You paid for your mimosa.
And my friend messaged me on Snapchat and was like, yeah, I went to the bathroom and I heard our waitress talking that you didn't pay your bill. And I'm like, I most certainly did. And so I sent her a screenshot of the receipt and then a screenshot of the pending charge on my bank account. And I called them and I was like, excuse me, you guys are lying. You're spreading rumors about me. And so they went and talked to my friend who was still there and she vouched for me. So I did not get arrested or banned from their restaurant. It's okay.
It's good.
Anyway, that's really all I had. That's like a snapshot of what I want to share. And no, for any updates, especially for a dear friend of ours, I have not shit at my boyfriend's house yet. I have not farted in front of him. I promise you, I will not wait 4 years.
You better not wait even a single year. I swear to God.
I don't want to risk clogging his toilet.
He has a plunger.
Does he now? I couldn't remember if he did when she first started dating him.
No, he does.
Oh, he
he
didn't
does.
have the trash
He
can.
doesn't have a trash can.
So sorry, we're roasting your boyfriend live on the internet.
Okay. It's nothing bad. But when I do eventually poop or fart in front of him, we can share.
Okay.
Start the countdown.
All right, Beth, it's your turn. Tell us what's
Good
been happening
Lord.
with you.
What have
Okay.
you got, baby?
So I'm the one who started the everybody breakup train, unfortunately. Ended up my long-term relationship. I didn't have it on my list, but I remembered that I briefly became a bed and breakfast for some mutual family friends of Anna.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot that happened.
During that time, this family friend allowed a random person to stay in my house, and we had to call the cops. So that happened. We went through this whole process where we thought, obviously, that Ophelia was going to move in, but we also thought that another one of their friends was going to move in. So I paid a man to put a egress window in my basement, and now my basement leaks everywhere. So that was fun.
They didn't do a very good job.
I found a lovely new man who we're all mutual friends with.
Producer, sorry. Producer, sorry.
And we started dating.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. Now we're engaged.
Disgusting.
Anna and Ophelia are in the wedding.
What?
What? That's
Ew.
Surprise!
since when? Oh my god.
Surprise! I quit my job.
Yes.
And
As you
now-
needed to.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was bad. And now I have a new job that I can tell you absolutely nothing about because I have signed so much legal paperwork that I will go to court if I mention anything.
Good.
So
love
I
that.
have employment. That's all you get to know.
That's all you
Excuse
need
me.
to know. You're on a need to know basis.
Yes. Did you just...
Sorry to interrupt.
God. either way, we have been busy as fuck doing non-podcast things
Yeah.
for the last
Yeah.
year and a half.
We've been all over the place doing all sorts of things. Anywhere and everywhere, all at once.
Lots of changes. Lots of good changes.
But you know what hasn't changed? Our ability to write some cringy ass shit.
God, you right. Look at you having all these segues today.
You're
Thank
good
you.
at
I've had a year and a half to
segueing.
come up with them.
Good.
So, with the new season comes many other changes as well. Craniard, would you like to lay them out for us?
I would love to lay out the layers of our podcast.
Like an onion?
We're like Shrek.
Shrunion. So yeah, we love our season 1 layout, obviously, but decided also that it might not have the most longevity to it if we just crank out all of our bad writing that we had.
I have a lot. I know you do too.
But there's still a finite resource.
Yeah.
We're like dinosaurs.
I'm gonna be
Getting turned
oil
into
pretty
oil.
soon.
Yeah. So we're switching things up a little bit, adding a few more things, a little change of pace, but still keeping it in that writing realm. And hopefully everyone enjoys what we end up doing with it. Hopefully we enjoy what we end up doing with it.
I
Oh my
hope so.
I
gosh.
mean,
I think
really,
we will.
if they don't.
Our bots will love us.
Yeah.
Shout out to the bots.
Truly. Anyways, to kind of lay out what our podcast is going to look like for season 2, obviously we're still going to start out with our iconic intro and have that classic layout style to start with. So Anna or Beth or I will read one of our old pieces of writing that we have from a young, cringy age. And then, instead of having all of us share an old piece of writing, we're going to kind of do recent writing, or like writing that we're doing specifically for the episode of the podcast. And we've got different writing exercises that we're going to do, different prompts and things like that. Just like a bunch of different...
We're really gonna be testing our creative juices.
Yes. And then every so often, we might also review bad media elsewhere that we have come across. One of Anna's favorite hobbies is if we go to the video store or any other store,
I love sifting through the dollar bin.
she loves sifting through the dollar bin of movies and finding...
You can find a lot of good ones in there.
They're quite an interesting time. So anything like that we might, do a little review of. And then, of course, we had a little taste of some of our, specialty host intermission pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to keep building on those. Mm-hmm. Those will be in there, too. Beth is finally going to get her debut of those eventually. Sometime this season.
I'm just snapping for you.
Thank you. I don't know if it's a section we're snapping for, but, we'll find out.
Yeah. But either way, that's kind of what we're going to be doing with the podcast from here on out.
I'm very excited.
Me too.
I think it's going to be great. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, lots of laughs. And there's also a potential for guest stars.
Oh, absolutely.
Actual guest stars.
Oh, that's another thing.
Oh,
we have a
yeah.
whole new setup now.
Yes.
Yes.
We are no longer in our previous main producer's teeny tiny recording room.
Well, he no longer lives there.
He does not live there anymore.
He lives in a shed behind Beth's house.
Producer, sorry.
Producer, sorry.
So we're in Anna's living room and my living room. This is my living
Yeah,
room.
this is
too.
our living
Live
room
here
now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. Did you call us a commie?
Yes, I did. Anyways.
Oh my gosh. We have more space, is the point.
We're not sitting on top of each other. I get very sweaty if I laugh too hard and I'm not sticking to Beth.
You're not farting on me anymore.
We don't have to turn off the super
AC.
loud window AC unit.
It's gonna be great.
We get to have central air conditioning now.
It's really nice. And it's been hotter than a motherfucker.
Ooh, it was awful.
But we're good.
We're good. So I think it's time to start off our first segment. Anna, would you like to
Pop this pussy.
God. Well, that was a good season.
Welcome back. Goodbye again. I'll see you in 5 years. Okay, hold on.
You just had it pulled up.
I know. I closed the fart document. I gotta pull
Not the fart document.
Okay, so I figured it would be a fantastic idea to start off with reading a Beatles fic that I found.
Just going into the good stuff right away.
Uh-oh.
Did you break
Technical difficulties.
Did you break the fart document?
I did not break the... I found it. We're good.
You found your fart document?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
so I can't recall when I wrote this. I imagine that it was sometime in high school. I was probably a sophomore. Freshman or sophomore. It does not have a title.
The title is Fart now.
Anna's classic writing technique, no title.
Yes. It's just a little tidbit that I wrote for funsies. Okay. Are y'all ready for this shit?
Yes, I am.
The faces you're making concern me. Are we good?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay, excuse me. I flashed to 1983.
How old are you?
Oh, in this?
Yeah.
Well, I'm 29 now. Oh, God. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just
We're gonna-
flashing, you know.
We're going to pretend we're 18
Okay.
in this.
Okay.
I flashed to 1983 and ended up at the setup for Say, Say, Say.
What the fuck is that?
That's a Paul McCartney song that guest stars Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay.
There was Michael Jackson standing over by Paul McCartney, and Linda was over talking to some other girls.
I love
Linda.
the structure of
Linda
that
is
sentence.
Paul's first wife, and
Oh
she
my
passed away
God.
from cancer.
Oh no.
I can't remember when. I think in the 90s or early 2000s.
What kind of fucking fan are you? You don't even remember.
I'm sorry. Hey, what are you doing? You can't be here. Get out before I call security. A burly man walked over to me and I grinned. I thought you were security. I laughed. Look, you little... What? Anna?
Oh.
What?
Continue reading.
Okay. Anna? Paul had looked over to see what was going on and he noticed me right away. He started walking over and said, "It's okay. I invited her to come, so she's with me." I'm coming.
God.
He was grinning widely and threw an arm around my shoulders and led me over to Michael. "What the hell you doing here?"
Loca?
This isn't Twilight.
Could be.
"Well, I thought you'd be happy to see me, but I suppose I can leave if I'm being a nuisance." He shook his head. "No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm very happy to see you, love."
I hate
LUV.
love. Yep.
Stopping us, he turned me to face him and pulled me into a tight hug. Before he pulled away, he kissed my hair and smiled at me.
His wife is right there.
Kissing my hair, not my mouth. Unless I have a hairy mouth.
I don't
That's
know.
just called a mustache.
I think if I was married and my husband went over and started kissing the hair of an 18-year-old, I might have a problem with that.
Listen, the amount of times that the Beatles all cheated on their wives, I'm pretty sure they were used to it.
Oh, God.
"You are so beautiful." He rubbed at my cheek and then said, "Anna, there's someone I'd like for you to meet." Paul put his hand on the small of my back and stopped me in front of the Michael Jackson. Gross.
Damn.
"Michael, this is an old friend of mine. Anna, this is Michael Jackson," I finished. "A fan?" Michael asked.
Your impression of Michael Jackson.
Oh, we are getting canceled right off the bat.
Have you heard him talk?
Not really.
I shrugged. I like your music, but I wouldn't call myself a fan. Oh, well, I'm glad you like my music. He held his hand out and I reluctantly reached for it. Paul nudged me and hissed, "Don't be rude." I grabbed his hand and gave him a firm shake.
Oh, thank God, not the wet ones we usually get.
Then I let my hand travel up to his face. I patted each of his cheeks and then I felt his mouth. And for a final touch, I gently grabbed his nose and pulled on it. Thank God I whispered. Jesus Christ, I should have read through this.
I'm sorry, can I take over?
Yes.
Anna, what were you just doing? What were you just doing? Oh, pointed his eyes at me, ready to bore a hole into my head. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson, but I'm not sure if Paul told you, but I'm from the year 2010, and for some reason...
We're reading this.
I have to redact this, but it's okay. For some reason, you're not well. You got some sort of skin disease. Then you got all this crazy plastic surgery, and your nose had no cartilage left. And you had to tape it down. And then I paused, not wanting to tell him he died. And then he asked, I laughed, "I don't think I can tell you." Paul gripped my arm and said, "Well, you've told him so many things so far." Oh my God. Why not just tell him the rest of his life, huh? Okay, dude, just don't take an overdose of pills in 2009 or you'll die. I die? Well, everyone dies sometime, but you'll just die when you're 50. And everyone is hating on you.
Can I take over?
Yeah.
Paul looked me over. Who don't I know dies? I mean, really? I rolled my eyes and said, "Well, don't worry about it, man. I need to ask you something anyway." Grabbing his arm, I pulled him aside. "Anna, I can't believe you just said all of that." "I can't either." I waved it away. "Hey, I wouldn't worry about liking him too much, Polly. He screws you over and buys all your songs."
Oh my God.
He widened his eyes again and rubbed his hair back. "So, yeah. I was wondering if you knew where John was staying at?"
Just glossing over the just Michael Jackson apparently buys all the songs.
Sorry.
Hey, Paul, did you see... Oh, who's this? Linda came over and linked her arm through Paul's. "I'm Anna. You must be Linda." I held out my hand and she shook it awkwardly. "She's an old friend of mine," Paul explained. "Old? She looks younger than me." This chick seemed to be hating me. I needed to get my info and leave.
God, I wonder why.
Are you a fucking secret agent now? You'd be the worst secret agent. You just spilled all the secrets of the future to Michael Jackson.
I love spilling the tea.
Oh my gosh, I bit my lip and tried to hide my annoyance. That's because I am younger than you. It's a long story that Paul would love to tell you.
Oh God, no.
Anyway, Paul, so do you know where he's at? As far as I know, he's still in New York. Okay, I just need to tell him something. Well, thank you for having me over. Linda, it was very nice to meet you. Paul, can I have a hug before I go?
Oh my God.
I opened my arms and Linda pulled him back. "Mr. McCartney has to get to work, so run along." She waved me away, and I bit my lip so hard to keep myself from yelling that I started to bleed. Damn, bitch. Jealous much? I turned and walked away from them, and when I was outside, I flashed myself to New York outside of John Lennon's apartment.
How are you flashing?
I find a mirror and just lift him up.
My lip was still bleeding, and I was trying to hold back my tears of anger. I knocked on his door, and Yoko Ono answered.
Oh, for the love of God!
Oh, Anna, how are you? Come on in.
How does she know me?
Besties?
She let me inside and called for John. I was just ready to go and get some groceries. Do you want something? I shook my head and thanked her for asking. Your lip is bleeding, she observed. I nodded. I know. Have a safe trip, Yoko. She hugged me before she left, and I paced around the room waiting for John to come out. What did you need, Yoko? John came out into the living room, rubbing at his head with a towel. He glanced up.
You've not clarified if he is wearing anything else, or if he's just gotten out of, like, a shower. That's why he's rubbing his head.
Hey, I've seen John Lennon's penis before. I'm not even shitting you.
Congratulations.
What a weird thing to announce on the internet. Sorry, continue, please.
He glanced up and saw me pacing the floor. Anna! John rushed over to me and gathered me in his arms.
Is he naked?
What are you doing here? I blinked and the tears spilled over my eyelids. John smoothed back my hair and noticed my face. What happened? Why is your lip bleeding? He got me a few Kleenexes, and I gobbled one up and held it to my lip.
Can I take over?
Yes.
I just got back from seeing Paul, and his wife is a bitch. I don't like her.
What do you expect? It's his wife!
I pressed the tissue harder to my lip and waited for him to talk. I'm a pick-me girl in this.
Hardcore.
Hardcore. Well, did she hurt your feelings or make you sad? Pick one.
I like the next line, too, the way it starts.
I shook my head. No, she pissed me off.
Wow.
Which is not hurting your feelings or making you sad.
No, that's different.
You know how easily I cry when I'm mad. Sniffing, he rubbed my back. Want me to kick his ass? He laughed when I nodded. After a few minutes of silence, he sat back into the couch and I leaned into him. So what did you want? I just wanted to see how you were doing. No more stalkers so far?
Anyone I need to assassinate?
I already took care of Mark Chapman. I pressed the Kleenex onto my lip even harder and he laughed. Not at the moment, but since you came all the way here just to ask me that, I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner with me and the family if you're not in a hurry to go somewhere.
Why is John, not an asshole in this?
I don't know. He was, really mean. Remember when he slapped me after I saved him?
Right.
He smoothed back my hair and kissed my forehead. I sat up and told him I'd really love to, but I had to go to a wedding with my real family back home.
Sorry, I just love, you guys aren't my real family. I have to go to my real daddy.
Yeah, it's Gerard.
I gotta go back to the orphanage. Hold on.
I have a lot of fake daddies. I'm sorry. Maybe next time? John nodded, understanding. Who's getting married? My cousin. This is their 4th husband. I didn't want to go, but my parents are forcing me. So yeah, that should be fun. I scratched my arm and grabbed my time machine.
Oh my god, is it your fucking iPod?
No, it's an iPad.
Oh,
Wow.
Well,
up in the world.
I'll see you later. Tell Yoko I said hi and give me a hug before I go. I opened my arms and he squeezed me tightly. Bye, kiddo.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Why?
Bye, I love you.
Love you too.
Ugh.
I flashed to my house and got ready for the wedding.
Can you stop flashing everyone?
It's a hobby.
Oh damn. Okay.
Do you want to take over?
Oh.
We got a break.
No, I can do that. That's fine.
Thanks.
Okay. After the wedding, I flopped onto my bed, begging for rest. Don't like that. I felt my sore lip and winced at the sting I felt when I touched it. I need to not torture my lip like this every time I'm pissed off.
You need
I
to
muttered
stop
to
being
myself.
a pick-me girl.
I'm aggressively biting my lip like Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell. Not Kristen Bell. Bella. Kristen Bella. What's her name? Kristen Stewart.
Bell. Kristen Bell. The Kristen Bell. Not Kristen Bell.
Oh my god. There was a small rapping on my door, and I yelled for them to come in. How the fuck?
What?
Paul walked into my room with a bouquet of flowers. Hey! I smiled and sat up on my bed. Hi, I sniffed.
This is disgusting. I'm reading ahead. This is gross.
Stop. He handed me the flowers and I thanked him. Paul set his hand down on my knee and
Ew.
smiled at me. I'm just curious, Anna. Are you mad at me? His eyes were wide and innocent. I shook my head. Not really. Don't worry about it. It was a stupid thing to get mad about, and no, it wasn't. As you were leaving, I explained to Linda on how we knew each other, and she felt bad. So we went to go and find you, and you'd already left. But she wanted to tell you that she's sorry. A grown-ass woman who's my wife is really sorry that she hurt your 18-year-old fucking feelings. Paul was rubbing at my cheek, and I was trying to hold back my tears. Come here. I listened and fell into him, enjoying his secure hold.
Ew.
He's got that master lock hold.
I let his fingers get tangled and wrapped up in my hair. Even though I didn't really like Paul, I still really love hugs. I'm sorry about Linda, Paulie. I sat up and kissed his cheek.
Oh, she's dead at this point.
What?
Because Anna's back in the future.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, lordy. He nodded, acknowledging my apology for his loss.
Wow.
It's alright, love. I do miss her, though. I understand. I did, too. No, you don't! You just
You actively don't.
You were just crying!
You just called her a bitch.
Yeah! What? Oh, no. Oh. I understand. I did too. Sniffing in what he smelled like, I smiled. Paul, I have to go somewhere. Where? He whispered. I'm sorry. Where? I pulled away from him and he grabbed my hand lightly. I have to go protect someone. Can I come?
Sure.
I shook my head, but took my time machine from my nightstand and punched in a date and time. We flashed to where Linda was sitting at Paul's home. Oh, God.
Wait a minute. I shook my head, but he still came with me?
Apparently, we flashed to where Linda was sitting at Paul's home. Paul's mouth dropped open, and he ran over to her and scooped her up in his arms, kissing her hard on the mouth. Thank you, Anna. Paul was smelling Linda's hair, and she was giggling. Nodding, I punched in a different date and time. I'll be back in 3 hours.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
I believe you were trying to protect someone, being Linda.
I know, but we're just
we'll
all over
find
the damn
out.
place.
We'll find out.
Do you want to be Linda? Or does Ophelia want to be Linda?
I can be
Yeah,
Linda.
Ophelia's turn.
Okay.
Wait! It was Linda. She hopped out of Paul's arms and came over to me. Anna, I'm really sorry about how I treated you when we first met. I guess I was just jealous. Or maybe concerned that your grown-ass man of a husband is kissing the crowned forehead of an 18-year-old.
That time travels. Because, I'm sure he explained that to her.
Right, 100%. And that's, like, such a believable story.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed. Jealous? Of me? Look, Linda, there is no reason you should be jealous of me. If anything, I should be jealous of you. You're pretty and you sound smart. You're married to a wonderful man with a big heart. You're a very lucky woman, and just don't say anything that you would regret.
I think we need to find the nearest car and run Anna over.
Yeah.
Well, lucky for you, I have a few in my driveway.
I meant in the story.
Oh.
You gotta flash us a car.
I gave her a hug and flashed myself over to George's house. The chilly night air was nipping at my skin. Glancing all around me, I was watching and waiting for the guy to come. I waited for about 20 minutes and decided I should go inside and warn George and Olivia. Oh my god. I know what this is.
Uh-huh.
I just learned about this recently.
Because I taught you. I
did.
learned you.
You learned me. Opening the window, I snuck in and closed the window behind me. Taking my first step on the stair, it creaked loudly and I winced at the sound. I shouldn't even be scared. I'm just here to warn them. I skipped every other step on my way up and tiptoed to their room. The couple was cuddling under the covers and I admired the way George just lay.
Ew.
I got on his side and set my hand on his cheek. He stirred and looked down at Olivia and then put his hand on mine. He flipped to his side and ended up slapping me hard in the face.
God damn.
George jumped to his feet and Olivia turned on her bedside lamp. I had fallen to the floor and I felt the blood run out of my nose. You're bleeding a lot from your face holes in this. Ah, shit! George kicked me in the back many times and then gripped my shoulders and yanked me to my feet. My hands were covering my face and he pushed me up against the wall. Tears were cascading my face and I removed my hands from my eyes. Damn it, George! I sobbed. He stopped holding me and instead looked me over with awe. Anna, what the hell are you doing here? How did you get in? Why did you flash to his house in the middle of the fucking night?
To warn him.
Why then?
Because she can't throw the timeline off too much.
Yeah. Butterfly effect.
You couldn't have just gone over to his house for dinner?
You couldn't have sent him a fucking letter?
Send him a ransom note. He stopped holding me and instead looked me over with awe. Anna, what the hell are you doing here? How did you get in? Trying to compose myself, I answered. Well, first off, your window was unlocked. Second, I came here to tell you guys to call the cops and to prepare yourselves for the intruders that's supposed to be coming in. Ah, shit, dude.
Ah, shit, dude.
Are we playing house party? Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Olivia came over with a box of tissues and she handed them to me. I grabbed a handful of Kleenexes and started blotting my nose with them. Just be careful, all right, George? My tears were easily streaming down my face and I ran out of the room. Bolting down the stairs, I ran head-on into George's attempted killer. He was holding a large kitchen knife, and he was grinning sickly at me. George! Olivia! Run! He made a stab at me, and luckily it missed me. I kicked him as hard as I could in his gut, and he fell down 2 steps. The guy scrambled to his feet and stumbled up the steps. George came out and yelled for me to duck. I followed his instructions as he threw a bowling ball at the guy. It missed him and he made another stab at me, this time getting me in the leg. I screamed bloody murder and dropped to my side. The man ran past me and made his way upstairs to George. I reached for his leg and managed to pull him down a ways. Olivia came running down and started hitting him repeatedly with a fire poker. Just stab him! I shouted, hoping she heard. She did, but it really didn't do anything. I was still pulling on his leg to make him stay on the stairs, but he started kicking, and I was losing my grip. He finally just turned and stabbed my shoulder.
Damn.
I let go, and he crawled up the steps. You want to finish that off?
Yeah. Great. I was bleeding from my leg, and now my shoulder.
Oh my god. Ma'am.
And I still had a... And I still had a gun wound from saving John. I'm a fucking saint. Maybe for my JROTC class, I should get a Purple Heart Award for woundage in battle.
Jesus Christ, you really are a pick-me.
God. Woo.
I told you, I am not like other girls.
Oh god, definitely not. You have a time machine.
Uh-huh. I flash it, too. The man... The man shoved Olivia down the stairs, but I caught her, and soon we heard George's screams. We both made our way to where George was, and I had found a lamp in the hallway. I took it and ran to smash it over the attacker's head, knocking him out. I kicked his knife away and hit him one more time for good measure. I sat there trying to stop the bleeding, but it wouldn't. We waited for a good few minutes until the sirens were heard. I reached for my time machine and headed back to my time. The hospital sucked. It smelled weird, and there were too many dying people around me. It was rather depressing.
Yeah,
but
because, when I walk into the hospital, I'm like, this is going to be a great fucking day. I am so excited to be here.
But I'm alright, though. I got my wounds sewn up, and my gun wound cleaned out again.
Again?
What?
When did you get it done the first time?
I guess I got shot recently.
Well, you got shot when you saved John.
How recent?
Enough.
In the timeline of Anna's writing, how recent?
Does it really matter? You have a time machine.
That's true. I was given pain medication, and I was sent on my way home. Yeah, that's fine. Unfortunately, though, I would have to go back in a few weeks to get my stitches out. As I lay in bed, I was thinking about all the events just replaying in my head. Then I remembered how Paul showed up and... Paul! Crap, I forgot. I grabbed my time machine and went back to where they were. Anna, you're here finally. Paul was sitting at the dining room table with his family eating. Come join us. There's room for one more. What?
Ma'am.
What?
Ma'am.
I looked at the food they were eating. It was vegetarian crap.
Jesus.
I politely declined, but thanked him anyway. Limping over to where he was standing, I gripped his shoulder for support. I should have taken my crutches with me.
What? You got stabbed in the shoulder.
I can't walk with a bump shoulder.
I think she...
I also got stabbed in the leg.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, she had two stab wounds and a gunshot.
Okay. I was like, where the fuck does that come in?
Anna, what happened? He stood up and let me sit down on his chair. I went to George's house to help him not get stabbed, right?
I think you casually do. Just go to your friend's house to make sure they don't get stabbed.
So when I get there, he doesn't know who I am because, it was dark and he couldn't see me. Then he started attacking me, right? So I get beat up and he sees it's me, and then I go to leave after telling him to watch out for the attacker, and then the attacker was downstairs and we got into a fight. He stabbed me a couple times, and I went to the hospital, and now I'm here to get you. Besides, the other you is coming back soon from your trip, so we have to go.
Oh my god.
I finished my long explanation, and he shook his head. Let me just say goodbye. He hugged and kissed everyone sitting at the table. I waited patiently and averted my eyes when he was tunning Linda. What? God damn. When he was done, he came over to me, and we flashed back home. I was lying on my bed and he was sitting beside me. We sat there in silence and he broke it by standing up. Thank you, Anna. I waved it away. It's no problem. He stood up and bent down to kiss me goodbye. The end.
Oh my god.
What'd you think?
Here's the thing. When you gave me the briefest run over of this, all you said was, Michael Jackson is involved.
I'm sorry for saying all those things.
God, you can really tell just like the entire...
You can kind of tell the age mindset.
Oh
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
A little embarrassing. It's fine.
A little more than a little.
Yeah, you're generous, but yeah. Oh my god. What a good way to start off the fucking new season.
Welcome to season 2. You're going to hear more of that garbage later.
Oh gosh, do we want to move into our next segment?
We can. What are we doing?
So what are we doing?
So we are moving on to our next segment, which is like doing current modern day writing of ours. I believe Beth is starting us off. She was working hard on some little writing pieces.
I was. So basically what happened here was I looked at things in Anna's house and was inspired to write about them.
Exciting.
And so here's the thing. I wrote them in such a way that I'm having you guys guess who they are, or like
what they are.
Yeah.
Well,
what the object in Anna's abode is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first one here is a diary entry.
Oh.
Okay. So, who is it from? Dear Diary, most creatures love running. Me, I'm much more of a laze around the house kind of gal. I love eating snacks in bed, especially popcorn. Usually I stay in my condo, but today I was gonna have a ball. I got picked up by my chauffeur, and we were rolling. I got to see so many new places. Everything is bigger here, and with lots less wood, too. There was a big thing that lit up, and it changed with lots of colors, and it had loud noises, too. I was used to being up high, so this whole below ground thing was throwing me off. I wanted to explore more, but my handler said it was time to go home. So we rolled back to my house. When I got home, I was so tired, but I got some veggies as a treat for being brave. I can't wait to see what adventures I get to have tomorrow.
Is that Bergie?
Oh my god.
Sure shit is from Bergie.
Okay, can I give a quick backstory about Bergie? Bergie was a hamster that I had for 6 months. She was a good hamster. I took very good care of her. She had a very big enclosure. And one day, I was like, I hadn't seen Bergie in like a day or so. I haven't heard her. And so I opened her cage and I lifted up her house. And she was in a state of rigor mortis. That's what we're saying. That's what we're going with.
It was a very interesting experience because Anna and Beth and I, what was that sentence format I was just trying to do? Anna, Beth, and I were in the same room at the same time when this happened. We were all hanging out. And I can't remember what we were doing, but Anna was poking around in Bergie's enclosure, and she just goes, "Oh, Bergie has reached rigor mortis."
And it was very nonchalant, which you guys have had hamsters before.
Yeah.
So you're used to it. I've never owned a hamster in my life. And so the fact that you were just so chill that your fucking pet hamster had died, you were like, it just happens. It's fine.
She is buried behind my garage. And then Beth found an interesting TikTok explaining how some people think their hamsters are dead because they get too cold. And so they bury them essentially alive. But Bergie was very stiff. So we're saying she's dead. Well, she's especially dead now.
The reason that's important is because it was very cold where Bergie was because she was right next to a window.
Yeah, but the window was there's a heater. There's a heat vent by the window, but it got a little chilly in that room. She had plenty of bedding. She had plenty of shelter so she could stay warm. But it was still a chilly room. I promise you, I took very good care of her.
She also did come from...
So we don't know how old she was.
Yeah, she came from Pet Store Corporation, so...
Yeah. I gave her a good life.
You gave her a good life. Either way, that was a happy diary entry from Bergie.
Thank you, Bergie.
You're welcome.
Rest in peace.
I thought it was going to take you longer to get. Dang. All right, well, you ready for the second one?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. This one's a short story. I was running faster than my legs could carry me. God, why was I born with teeny tiny legs? My target was getting away. As I rounded the corner, I stopped sharply, my heels digging into the grass, as I looked at the fence that had just been vaulted over by my target. There was no way I could go back to HQ. I had to find a way to take my target out. I called for backup. Surely there had to be someone around to help. I called and I called and I called, but beyond the scattering of wildlife, there was no response. I started pacing, desperately trying to find a way out of the predicament I was in, with each footstep meaning that my target got further and further away. Their fur coat. There had been so many like it before, but this one was special. Hanging around the neighborhood, riling up all the other dogs, I'd made it my mission to kill this thing. And a fucking fence is what was stopping me? I called over for help from my family, but they must have been inside. I was getting hungry, but I knew if I left, that menace would get away. I took a good sniff to see if I could get any clues before Mom called me back. I huffed and I gave up for the day. Before I went back to the kitchen, I turned around to see that squirrel sitting on top of the fence, mocking me. Just you wait, squirrel. Just you wait.
I know who that is. It's Boo.
That is Boo. You are correct.
It's very Boo.
Boo is my dog. She's stupid. We love her. Unusually short legs. She has unusually stick legs.
She has a very barrel-shaped body, a teeny tiny head, and like pointy little legs. They're like long for her.
Mm-hmm.
They're stick legs.
We love her.
She looks like a potato with toothpicks.
She does. I had to write it in a different way, otherwise the first line you were going to be like, that's Boo. That's Boo. That's Boo. Don't even worry about reading the rest of it. It's Boo.
That was a good one.
It was
Thank
good.
you. Thank
It
you.
really captures her personality.
She's a very huffy dog, yes. Okay, so here's the thing. I have another diary entry and riddles, or I can save them for later. What would you like me to do?
I think we got some pretty good content for now, so if you want to save them for later, so that way
Do that.
you're not running out of content really quickly.
I have already run out of content. I run out midway for the first season.
That's all right. That's what you have two cringy best friends for.
Yeah. I'm the backup. Don't worry.
All right, so are we calling this the end of episode 1 of season 2?
I think we had a pretty solid first episode. Welcome back.
Solid is a very generous term.
Got to catch up with all the hosts. Got to
Sorry, I thought you were going to say catch up with all the hoes.
Well, yeah.
the hosts.
We learned about Michael Jackson.
We learned about Michael Jackson. We learned that High School Anna was a hardcore pick-me
Oh, God.
with the Beatles.
Yeah.
I could have told you that.
Oh.
I really just
And was jealous of their real-life wives.
Yeah.
I had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I still do,
There we
but
go.
I am in therapy.
Yeah, you are. I'll give you credit for that.
Okay, well, hi, welcome back. How may I help you?
I'm Beth.
I'm Anna.
I'm Ophelia.
This has been Why Did I Write This?
Love you, goodbye.
Love you, goodbye.
Why did I write this?
Thank you for listening to Why Did I Write This, hosted by Anna, Beth, and Ophelia, brought to you by the Record Button. Want to show off your love for the show? You can buy our merch at trbmerchstore.threadless.com. Want to hear more from the Record Button? You can find us at recordbuttongroup.com, where you'll find links to our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for listening.
The songs Funkorama, Krampus Workshop, Rumination, Heartbreaking, Touching Moments 4, Crypto, Prelude in Action, Dance Moraltia, Vivacity, and Thinking Music were by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, listed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. The song Neon for Breakfast is by Mr. Hagen, presented courtesy of Mr. Hagen. You can find more of his work at zacharydaniels.bandcamp.com.